morning, saints, ain'ts, party people, wagwan. It's been a minute, but welcome back to another talk and ride, talk and drive, whatever I'm calling this series, chat and drive. How y'all doing? How your mama doing? How your daddy doing? How your children them doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully everybody that you love is doing well. That is always the hope. So yeah, we're back in this beat, and I want to talk about functional depression, specifically functional depression in Black women. And I know it sound like it got real deep real quick, and it did, because I had a personal reminder. Oh, baby, you ain't even stopped. Child, let me tell you something about South Florida drivers. That's it. That's all you need to know. Is you need to be paying attention, because it's crazy. All right, yes, I need to get back to my side of town. One momento, y'all. Let me get back on the highway and then we can chat. Okay, we're back. So, functional depression. Yeah. So here's how I realized that I may have been operating in functional depression. So I have therapy once a month, right? It used to be every week, then it went to twice a week, and now we're at once a month, right? So I usually have at the top of each month on a Monday. So the first Monday of each month is usually my day. So this month I actually forgot about my therapy session, to the point where my therapist was like, she'll text me and be like, you okay? Because usually I'll be early at our session because we have, televisits. So I'll be early, logged in, ready to go. Completely forgot about a therapy session. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. And I didn't see her text message because my phone is always on silent. I didn't see her text message till about 2-3 hours after she had sent it, and I was just like, wow. Completely forgot that I had therapy today. Completely forgot that it was a new freaking month. And she was like, okay, we'll reschedule. So the reschedule was for this past Monday, right? A couple days ago. So she comes, and we're on there. So she's just, doing the regular therapy talk at first. How you doing? How's everything going? How's your month? How was last month? How's life? And I'm just like, girl, everything is good, because I actually do. I feel good. I feel not even productive. I just feel good. I'm telling her, like, I relaunched I did a soft launch for my Black news publication, bringing it back. So I was excited about that, getting back in my journalist media bag. Business been going well. So I'm just like, she's like, okay, good. And then she asked me, she was like, when was the last time you've been out, to do something social? Like, when is the last time you went out to socialize? Like, how was your month with socializing? And I was just like, huh. And so I couldn't remember. And then I started thinking, and I was just like, oh, I have not been out the house on the social tip, or really on any tip, if it's not to go like, no, it can't even pick up groceries, because I've been getting my groceries delivered. And I came to the realization that for May, I had not been outside for real, like getting my car, drive somewhere outside, since my Mother's Day event. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Because I didn't even do anything for my birthday. Like, I didn't go outside for my birthday either. And so I kind of had a pause there, and I was just like, that's crazy. What's that about? And then she was like, So she was like, you're telling me that all these things are good, but then you haven't been out of your house in about a month. And I was like, She was like, what's that about? That's not how you, that's not like you. Especially where you have been lately. You know, you've been making it a point to be more social and to get outside and to even like be outside by yourself. Go sit by the water, go for a walk. All the things, and I realized I had not done those things. And so I kind of like took a pause, and then that's when I took a pause and really like checked within, girl, here come the waterworks. And I was like, well, damn, I wasn't expecting to be crying during this session. I thought everything was good. And she was just like, you know, a lot of times things are good. She was like, two things, you know, people always be like, two things can, you know, be true at the same time. She's like, things are good, but she says, what I know about you and our history together, you will keep going without processing your emotions or giving yourself time to process your emotions. And for me, that's so true, because it's almost like until I feel it in my body, until I feel like my stomach churning, or I constantly have a headache, or, you know, I feel some type of physical, piece of plyboard in the road. I feel some type of physical reaction in my body, girl, I be on to the next. I don't even think about it. I don't be feeling, it does not register, like at all. It does not register. And she was like, yeah, well, that's what we call functioning depression. And I was like, wait, what? And remember in my last talking drive, I was telling y'all about how, I don't know if it was the first one or the last one, but I was telling y'all about how I had like a psych evaluation from a psychiatrist. And how she wanted to put me on meds and stuff like that, or, you know, say I should try some meds. But she was more hanging heavily on the fact that they could help me lose weight, and I wasn't really feeling that. So, first of all, I don't like taking drugs. Second of all, I'm not finna take a drug that it's not meant for. It's not meant for weight loss. It's meant for mood enhancement, or whatever you want to call it. And then it just happens to be, side effect might be weight loss. Like, that's why I be looking at the Ozempic sideways and side-eyed too, because I've had doctors recommend that for me as well for weight loss, but I'm not a fucking diabetic. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. And to each his own. This ain't no judgment. Do your thing, sis. Do your thing, bro. If that's what you into, that's what you into. If that works for you, that's what works for you. Beautiful. As for me in my house, I just don't like taking freaking pharmaceuticals, period. So, with that being said, it was a hard pass for me on the drugs. But then when she brought it back that, you know, this is what you call functioning depression, it really got me to thinking. And then I started thinking about a trip that I have coming up, and how I was very hesitant about like going forth and planning this trip, because I've been very self-conscious about my body right now. Very self-conscious. And she was just like, that's not even like you. And I was like, I know, right? What is that about? So it was a lot of things that I realized, you know, turning 40 in May, Mother's Day, having a Mother's Day event where we talked, you know, it was specifically for people's mothers who have passed away. Just kind of going with it. I didn't want to do the event, and then my friend was like, you need to do the event, and the event was great, but I know me, and not having time to process those emotions and kind of just moving on to the next thing, like, that took a toll on me, and I didn't even realize it, because again, I'm just working, I'm making sure my rent get paid, I'm making sure that I have my day-to-day essentials, I'm just living life, so to speak, not realizing that I have a mild depression going on, because I have not been outside, and I have not listened to music, and I have not done the things that I love to do, and just going on with life. You get what I'm saying? And that really threw me for a loop, and it also made me pause, and it made me cry, and it made me realize just how many unprocessed emotions was living inside of me from last month, and probably the month part of that. So I was asking her, I said, now I'm curious to know, as far as statistics go, why is this car swerving like this? Let me stay back some, because he's swerving in and out these lanes like he or she is lit or something's going on over there on a cell phone or something, but they are not driving safely on this highway. But I told her I was very curious about what the statistics say as far as being able to diagnose depression in black women versus white men, because you know a lot of these like psychological, psychiatric evaluations and tests and stuff, they're based on white men. They didn't consider black women. So she was like, oh, well, yeah, depression for white men is way worse than for black women. He is going all over in these people's lane. What are you doing? Why are you swerving? You got to get off this highway, baby, because you are driving recklessly. I'm about to get off. Let me go ahead and pay attention so I can get off. Because, baby, I don't know what you got going on. And then you getting over in front of me. You need to go ahead about your business, sir, ma'am. Getting off on the exit I'm getting off on. I need you to get home safely or get where you going safely. Jesus. Wow. So she was like, oh, the statistics for depression in white men versus black women it's way worse for white men. And I was like, what you mean? She was like, yeah, because when something actually happens to the point where they are now clinically or diagnosed as depressed, they feel like the world is over. But with black women, because black women are constantly in this state of like pushing through, making it happen, live life, and not even knowing or being able to identify that we are depressed, she was like, yeah, most black women that she talks to and that her colleagues talk to who are suffering or who are, can be directly diagnosed as depressed are functioning depressives. And she was like, they'll be like, oh, no, I'm just having a bad day. Or, no, I'm just, my mood been off. Or I've had to isolate and, get my mind right. But they still run a family. They still take care of it. They still in their job. They still basically being the responsible adults that they are. And it has never clocked or been registered that they are functioning depressives. And that was wild to me. And I was just like, wow. Okay. So I kind of was like, so where do we go from here? What do we do? And she was like, well, for starters, just like you make your list for work, like the client work that you have to do, she was like, I want you to make a list of all the things that you do when you're not in a depressive mode. Like, you go outside, you go for walks, you listen to music, you make yourself meals, you drink your water, you laugh, you find things humorous, you write, you journal. She was just like, make a checklist, and then each week I want you to check off those things. Did you do this? Did you go outside this week? Did you journal this week? Did you listen to music this week? Did you do something fun this week? And if you notice that the week goes by and you only got a few check marks or you have no check marks, then you know it's time to check in with yourself like, hey girl, what's going on? And not to say that you're calling yourself depressed or diagnosing yourself, but you have a meter or barometer that tells you, hey girl, we need to check in, what's going on? Because you know it takes you a second to check in, and you don't need stuff to have to manifest in your body for you to know that something is off with you, or know that something is, because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, I be on to the next, baby. I be on to the next. So yeah, that was a very interesting fun fact that I came across this week. Very interesting fun fact that I came across. So yeah, y'all, I done parked, but like I said, that was a very interesting fun fact that I learned about myself and, let me just cover this sun, and black women in general, when it comes to functioning depression. And again, this ain't for you to self-diagnose. Again, I got this from a professional who knows my patterns, who knows all the things. And that's really what it is. She was just like, you need to check your patterns, and you know your patterns. Just like I know it's not like you to not go outside or to not be social at all for an entire month or more. I knew it was something up. And even though things are going good and you're doing things, you not leaving your house is a red flag, or it's a signal for you to check in. So what y'all think? What y'all think about that? How do y'all feel? What do y'all do? Do y'all have like tools in place for you to check in with yourself, or notice your patterns, or signals where you know that you off a little bit, or that you may have entered or slipped into a depressive mode? What do you do? How do you handle that? I'm very curious. So comment below, and I will see you all in the next Talking Ride. All right, y'all. Oh, wait, is it Talking Ride? Talking Drive. All right, peace.